Hi and welcome to AWE and this session. So my name is Andreas and I'm a technical author for augmented reality at REFLEKT. REFLEKT is a technical company based here in Munich that enables any business or industry to create their own in-house augmented and mixed reality applications. So my main task as a technical author is to prepare and create content for augmented reality by reusing existing data without the need of coding, and this for different industrial use cases. So, and yes, augmented reality is not only for gamers anymore. AR has already arrived in the industry, and there are several areas where AR benefits the company. And here are some of these areas. One area is the operations. Instead of searching the needed information in printed documents while losing time in searching the right paper, AR is used to display the right information at the right location to the right time. And this information can be updated from an external source, so we can use live data. Another area is the maintenance. Instead of relying on best guesses from technicians or maintenance persons, AR is used to support with predictive maintenancing and repairs. And additionally, with visualized step-by-step instructions, this can cut down the downtime and the costs. Another area is the training. In training, so instead of referring to books which might have hundreds of thousands of pages or spending many hours in lectures, hires and trainees can use tablets and glasses which broadcast then the needed information right in front of their eyes. And it is easily to reuse the already created step-by-step instructions in VR so that the trainee can be trained without being in the real environment. So now the question is, how can you create content for AR? Let me answer this question by presenting you REFLEKT ONE. REFLEKT ONE is a program which then enables you to create your own content for AR without need of coding. For this, I need to switch to my REFLEKT ONE author. Check. See it now here. So this is REFLEKT ONE author. In here, as an author, you create your product, your categories or projects. Let's call it AWE. In the category, you create your product. And in the product, you choose then your scenario. Let's call it maintenance. And you can type something in the description. And then, if you select your scenario, maintenance, then you can create your topics. We can choose between different kind of topics. We have the information screen topic, then the point of interest topic, and animated procedure topic. From now, for the demonstration, I will start the animated procedure topic. And Cortana Rapid Manual will start directly out of REFLEKT ONE author. And first of all, you would need to import your CAD files or 3D data. To save a bit of time, I already saved something. I've got the machine tool. This takes me only a few seconds instead of 1.5 minutes, I think, for this machine. So now you see the 3D object right in the viewer. And on the left side, we have the item tree where you see the whole hierarchy of this CAD file. And as an author, you can change the representation quality in here in Cortana Rapid Manual, and as well you can also clean up the whole hierarchy if you want. For me, this machine looks good, it's fine, and it's not too big. And then after importing, you change to the document editor. In here, you will create your step-by-step instruction. And as I said, you can reuse your the existing data, for example, the CAD files, and also documentations. Therefore, I have something prepared. We have already some instructions how to disassemble, for example, the some engines from this machine. I will have this document next to me, and I will move this to this side. And now I fill out the instruction side here in the document editor. And this is based off XML. So therefore, I will switch to the XML mode. And you already see something in here. So I will change the name. This is then the title of this topic. Let's call it exchange the motor block. And then you see already the first step. I have a CMD tag in here. I will type in then the title of the step. Behind this, I can add another info tag. In here, I will type then in the instruction of the step. And in my documentation, I see that I need 4 steps for disassembling or exchanging this as this motor. Therefore, I copy and paste just the whole step, paste it behind the step, paste another one, and a 4th one. And now I can fill out my XML via copy and pasting. Step number 1. Step number 2 is then remove left guard. Step number 3, exchange the motor. And step number 4, install left guard. And just let us fill out also the information tag. Let's change something for the format. I add a paragraph, and inside the paragraph I add the B for bold, and I copy the warning in to the bold tag. So now let's fill out the next step. Then unscrew the bolts. Step number 3, lift the motor module. And step number 4, attach left guard. Copy, paste. And here we go. So now I'm done with the XML side, or with the step-by-step instruction. And now I want to visualize those steps. Therefore, I have the procedure editor down here. And in here, first of all, I will create the steps. So this is step via add new group. Another add group, step number 2. And let me add a 3rd one. So now I can have a look into my step number 1. It says switch off the workbench. Turn off workbench using the control panel. As a technical author, I know that this one is it. Oops, that's not highlighted. So this one, which is white, is the control panel. And there is a red button. This is then the stop button. So therefore, I can add another or additional geometries. I have something already in my object gallery. I have a hand pointer. I use this via double clicking. It is then somewhere in the viewer. And then via set position, I can manipulate the position, move this bit so that it's usable or it's visible for the user. Say apply to this object, and now I have a pointer, but there's still no animation in there. So therefore, I activate my object, go to the step number 1, and add an action. We can choose between different already existing actions. Under miscellaneous, I have something like show the object. And you see the hand, the pointer is now gone, because I say show the hand, and after 1 second it will appear. So, and now let me continue with this. So the hand appears, and the technician knows where he should focus on. Therefore, I choose the stop button and can choose something like inspect. It will then flash in 1 second 3 times, and it looks right now like this. And the hand appear, the button will flash, and then I can say, okay, I don't need the hand anymore. Activate the hand, choose the action, hide the object. So, I think now this is enough for step number 1, and let's go to step number 2. Step number 2 says remove left guard, unscrew bolts and detach the left guard. The left guard is now this one, everything which is highlighted in white. Now I want to remove the whole left guard. Therefore, I need to unscrew this first. There's 2 screws. Those screws needs to be unscrewed. So how can I present this to the technician that he knows, okay, now he needs to unscrew really those 2 screws. Therefore, I activate the screw. go into the step number 2, go on new action. First of all, I go and inspect the object, then it will be flashing, or the screw will flash 3 times in 1 second. And I have another screw there. I can just activate that, and the already created action can be duplicated, and I can exchange via clicking on this one, and then the second screw will also blink. And now, let me unscrew the screws. Activate one screw, miscellaneous, and then I have something like move the object. This is got the transform value. Then I open this action and change the transformation value. So now you see that the screw will move after 1 second into this direction, which I use now, or will give this to the screw. And I have a feature. If I activate the screw action here, then this screw will turn around on this axle 1 time during this time. Let's say 2 times, apply, and let's have a look how this looks. Screw is flashing, second screw is flashing, screw will be unscrewed. And I can copy this also for the second one. I duplicate this action and exchange the screw. So now I have both one after another. And now let's hide those screws. Screw, miscellaneous, hide the object. So because we don't need the object anymore. I duplicate this, change it with the second one, say OK, and both screws will vanish. So now I'm able to remove the whole left guard. I activate the whole left guard, go on the miscellaneous, and choose move. Move the object. By transforming, I need to give him the end position. So, therefore, it gives me a random direction. I click on reset, and then I choose the direction. So the guard should be removed in this direction. And make it a bit nicer, looking like this. Say apply, OK. And then I can also say, OK, please left guard, hide. So let's have a look how the animation looks now. A hand appears, button is then flashing, those screws are flashing, will be unscrewed, and then the left guard will be disassembled. And now step number 3 says, exchange the motor block. Therefore, I click into the motor block, this is the whole motor block, and you see it. I'm lucky that because all parts are in one parent. Then I only animate this parent, go on the miscellaneous, and choose again something like move the object. And also here, I change the value. This object should be removed to the front. Say apply. And I have a closer look now. You see that this object will be moving, is moving through the metal, and this doesn't look really nice. So therefore, I can just extend the time from 1 second to 2 seconds via drag and dropping, or 1.8 seconds, and can say, okay, at this time where the cursor is it shouldn't be in the metal. Therefore, I can add a keyframe, go to global, and then I would navigate the object first upwards. So then it looks a bit smoother. So the object will be going upwards, and then out. And now, because we said the pump or the engine should be exchanged, I would say activate this one again, hide the object, and after this, it's on the wrong order now. I can just, via using the arrows, I can move those actions without rebuilding those actions. And then after that, miscellaneous, I can say show the object again. And I can also copy and duplicate whole steps and can invert them. But right now, I would just use move the I move this manually in miscellaneous, and to move the object again, move it downwards, and say okay, edit the value, go on initial, and that's it. The engine will be installed. So step number 4 says install left guard again. So we know that we already uninstalled the left guard, so there's no need for redoing the whole step. I can just duplicate the step number 2, because this was the uninstalling. I can rename this one to step number 4, and then via right-click, I can go on invert. And this is then inverted, the whole step. I move this to the end, and then we can see, without the need of reanimating, I just can duplicate, and everything will be then inverted by using the invert function. So you see the screws going back in, and then what you can do is to reorder the flashing, because this doesn't make sense in this point that the screws will be flashed after installing. So yeah, and the last thing before publishing and to see it in AR, I need to add for this demonstration a marker. We use here for the demonstration marker tracking, and therefore I just add a geometry which I can use as a reference. I place it somewhere on the floor. Let's say move a bit down, say OK, and now I need to activate this marker as a marker. Therefore, I activate the item, go to doc ID, give it a random name, and here we have an attribute marker, and just say yes, and our client, where we see then the animations, and knows what to do with this marker. So, last check. We've got 4 steps in here, 4 steps in the animation, and now we're good to go. I close this. REFLEKT ONE is collecting all the data, the 3D data, XML, and the marker. And there's one symbol which is red. I need to change this. I click on it, and then I can upload my marker. I have a prepared marker here, REFLEKT marker. Upload this, set success, and now I publish. While I'm publishing, REFLEKT ONE engine collects now the X3D from Cortona, the XML, so the documentation, and also the zip file for the marker, and combines them all 3 together and transform them so that our client, the REFLEKT ONE client, can display this on a tablet or also on HoloLens or any other device where the client is available. So publishing is done. Now let me switch to the tablet. So now you see my tablet, and this tablet is then connected to my computer via network. I open the REFLEKT ONE client, and you already see some IP. Let me double check, but this must be the right IP. Close this one. Double check the IP. Yep, that's correct. So I type in the password. And you see, I've published my maintenance, and you see it in the left corner, AWE, machine tool, and the maintenance. If I click on it, oh, and I see also the text AR is cool, and then I can launch it. And that you see, we use this the standard pebbles marker. I put this on the floor to initialize the tracking, and you see, there's the machine, and we see also the animation. And on the left side, you see the information box, so the step-by-step instruction. I can close this and call this all the time again. If I continue to the next step, you see the screws. Oh, yep. And each step will be is running in a loop. I can also freeze the screen, so because I'm a bit shaky here. And step number 4 is then the installation again. Yeah. So then let me switch to my screen again. Yep, here we go. So now you saw how easy it is to create own AR content, and it just in creating it, importing your existing data, editing it, add your 2D information, and then you publish it. And it's cross-platform, and then you can connect the tablet or the device with your authored content and can run this. And yeah, it's as easy as using PowerPoint. So, and you already have your the data, the needed data, like CAD files, documentations, and everything is already there. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Andreas, for this great presentation. Is there any questions? So we have microphones, and any questions to Andreas?
Otherwise, we have also at the booth some demonstrations. Okay. If you want some more information, visit us at the booth.
Okay, great. Many thanks then, and
Thank
have
you.
a great show.